Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a tiny village by the name of Kamiki. Legend tells of a horrible beast that threatened the residents. Looks like a Hydra dragon. It also tells of a wolf that risked it all to protect them. Controlling the very fabric of existence, this wolf stood up against a beast many times its size and banished the darkness. This ethereal wolf's valiant act ushered in an era of tranquility. The villagers' hearts swelled with respect and adoration of the wolf. Right into the animation, I guess. I was actually not expecting that. I was thinking of like a Legend of Zelda Wind Waker beginning. Oh, I think we went from a cutscene straight into the gameplay right before the title of the video shows up. I should say the title of the game. You know what the title of the video is. You clicked on this, right? Maybe it is Twilight Princess. Hello everyone, I'm your host Okami, and welcome to the first episode of Okami. Yeah, I know a lot of people have done this game before, but from what I've seen, most people tend to do this game after they've played through it. So I'm going to be doing it blind. This probably will either turn some of you off to the video, or you will want to stay and watch someone play through it blind. All I know about this game is that it's, I think it's Shinto-based religion or something like that. Like, that's what some of the characters are related to and whatnot. Also, the creator of the series was inspired by the Legend of Zelda series, which gets me rather excited to play this game. I've had people who have played this game tell me it is incredible and I must not go without playing it. And one person actually bought it for me. So I decided, yeah, we're going to have to play this game. And I was going to release it last year, and then I got Spyro 3 instead. That's how long it's been since I've said I was going to do this game. Well, I don't have anything that I am obligated to do next, so finally I'm going to get into playing Okami. I know that there's quite a lot of other games that people are wanting to see me play, and others that I am wanting to get around to, but this one was pretty much a, here, I bought this for you, play this game. So we're going to play this game. So begins Okami. That was chilling. Back into the scroll story? Aha, okay. Are we gonna get the same intro as we gotten before? I'm starting to get that feeling. Oh, we don't know that it was nestled between the cherry blossoms, so okay. So it'll be halfway repetitive. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. All the trees? It must have been really short on idols then. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. Really? A small village like that had its own dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. Oh! Great! With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. That is rather terrifying. And I've seen plenty of monsters in video games and artwork and whatnot, but that sounds really scary. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village, and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. Cool. People assume the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. Why? The warrior Nagi attempted many times to challenge the wolf, but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. A white arrow? Oh, plumed arrow. Okay, that makes a difference. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the Beast's cave in place of his beloved. Oh, great! I'm sure that'll go over well. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home. As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night, and then he learned it really was a Hydra and this was a terrible idea. But Orochi's hide was like steel, the blade left nary a scratch. And yet the blade stayed intact throughout the entire battle, it sounds like. So, which was stronger? At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Burying its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt toward Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, readying its fangs for battle. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. If I'm butchering some of these names, I entirely apologize, but I'm not very good at Japanese pronunciation. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. Like so. That's gotta be difficult to do because wind will also cause fire to spread. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening, a gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Protected by! Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi, and was then turned into lunch. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow. But Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. This is a very long intro. Made some of you check the time on the video, didn't I? Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary. Channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms, he leapt ferociously toward Orochi, his sword poised high. Not to say that this isn't entertaining, though. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. I didn't know it was a golden sword, I thought it was a regular sword. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Oh great, we got a Majora's Mask boss fight going on here. I am enjoying this story though, it's really good. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. Oh, finally. In that instant, the curse that plagued the villagers was lifted. I'm reading too fast. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head, as I don't know why I started to read heart. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the Moon Cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. Then everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years had passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. A white-plumed arrow struck the house of the most beautiful maiden. Is this the legendary sword? Oh, it's a sword. I thought it was a person. Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. It's only been 100 years. It can't have fallen that far into obscurity. Can we put that back, please? Put it back. But fine. Thank you for that. Vati has come forth again. That is definitely final boss material. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds. Speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. Or don't. That's an option too. You could totally not do that. You're not desperate, are you? I'm sure he's friendly. He just wants to see if you're loyal or whatnot. I don't know. I'm really grasping at straws here. Or I'm grasping at heads or necks. These straws. Probably not hollow inside though. Right, there go 3 gods. And there go 3 more. Are you a fan of the word or the number 3? I don't see how, since you have 8 heads, I believe it was. Was it 8 heads, or did they say how many heads that thing had? I really don't know. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. This has been one heck of a backstory, my gosh. Wood Sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. You know, the old one. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There is no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years I've spent protecting this area. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Okami Amaterasu. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. How delightful to see that the Savior whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demon so many years ago has not changed one bit. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. I'm not gonna voice that. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon. But never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. Eh? What is this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? Oh, well, I mean, she's got enough cleavage that anything could get in there. Oh, hee hee hee. Phew, what on earth? That wasn't exactly the most noble starting of the story. You again. Ow, 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 ow. Are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting, that's all. Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug, I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I can't do the right voice inflections too, apparently. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Isun. A wandering artist Isun. Kinda looks like Pandal from Yokai Watch, except green. I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you're bowing before my great brush. I can read. Is she sticking her tongue out? Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no? What's with you, Furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you look kinda familiar. Got it. You look just like that statue of Shiranui. Oh! And then he died. Whoa! What do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? This bug apparently ate a jumping bean. A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messing with the great Isun. Don't make me use my prized sword, Denkomaru, against you? I would love to look up all of these names, by the way, and see what kind of real-world culture references they are, but I'm going to try to avoid that in case of spoilers. What's that growling sound? And why is it so dark, anyway? Oh, great God, Amaterasu. Ignore the bug. Not bug, the wandering artist. I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees returned to normal, huh? It doesn't look normal to me. It looks burnt. That Sakyo girl sure said some weird stuff. The villagers' spirits are being kept inside the fruit. Okay, that's the fruit. The girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored. Why? I mean, it's a good-looking fruit, don't get me wrong. We got James and the Giant Peach going on here. But it's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're going to reach it. This darkness is really getting to me, though. Too. bleh, a lot can happen while you're taking a nap. Must have been a really warm nap considering when you were sleeping. Alright, oddly enough, I think I'm going to have to call it the end of the episode here, because we don't have time for anything more. This entire episode is just story. I barely even touched the controller except to advance the dialogue. Alright, well, see you guys next time for some of the gameplay of Okami. Take care. So, I need to draw it then? Come on, get up there. Yes. I don't know where that came from, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. Hello, I am the river god.